think this proves something?
It proves everything. Look around.
I'm still standing!
For now.
The warehouse exploded with roars as Muna's fist connected with the 10th man's jaw. Blood sprayed across the concrete floor. Young sat motionless in his leather chair, the cigarette frozen halfway to his lips, his angular face carved from disbelief. This wasn't supposed to happen. The beautiful 20-year-old with light brown skin, who'd walked into his territory 3 days ago, had just destroyed his best fighters, all 10 of them, in under 8 minutes. Impossible, he whispered in Korean, watching her stand over the bodies like a goddess of war, barely winded. But to understand how a college student became the nightmare-haunting Seoul's most feared mafia boss, we need to go back. 3 days earlier. Muna's phone buzzed as she stepped off the plane at Incheon International Airport. The message made her blood run cold. Your brother has 72 hours, $500,000 or he dies. The Cobra Syndicate. Attached was a photo of Marcus, bound and beaten in a dark room, his face swollen beyond recognition. Her hands trembled. Marcus had always been reckless, but getting involved with Korean organized crime, that was a death sentence she couldn't let him face alone. She had no money, no connections, no plan. But she had something else, something nobody in Seoul knew about. The taxi dropped her in Itaewon, Seoul's international district, where neon signs bled colors into rain-soaked streets. Muna's beauty turned heads everywhere. Her light brown skin seemed to glow under the streetlights, her athletic frame moving with predatory grace beneath a simple black jacket. But her mind was elsewhere, calculating impossible odds. Her phone buzzed again, a different number. Looking for fast money, underground fights at Warehouse 19. Tonight, big purses for winners. Anonymous. It was too convenient, too perfect, obviously a trap. She went anyway. Warehouse 19 squatted in Gangnam's industrial sector like a concrete tumor. Inside, cigarette smoke created a toxic fog over a makeshift ring where 2 men were beating each other bloody. Money changed hands faster than punches. The crowd was 90% male, criminals, gamblers, and those who fed on violence. Muna felt every eye lock onto her as she entered. Lost Sweetheart, a Yakuza enforcer with missing teeth, blocked her path. This isn't a K-pop concert. I'm here to fight. Her Korean was perfect, learned from her mother. How do I register? Laughter rippled through the nearby crowd. The enforcer's grin widened. You, fight! He looked her up and down, lingering inappropriately. The only thing you should be fighting for is my attention, beautiful. Muna's expression didn't change. The registry, now. Feisty, he grabbed her arm. Let me show you what we do with. She broke his wrist in 3 places before he finished the sentence. His scream cut through the warehouse like a siren. The crowd fell silent. Money stopped moving. In the VIP section above, Young's attention finally shifted from his phone to the commotion below. Who is that? He asked his Lieutenant Jin. No idea, boss. She just walked in. Young studied her through the smoke. Even from this distance, her beauty was striking, but something else caught his attention, the way she'd moved. Efficient, trained, lethal. Interesting, he murmured. Within minutes, Muna was in the ring facing a former MMA fighter twice her size. The crowd's bloodlust was palpable. They wanted to see the pretty girl destroyed. The bell rang. The fighter charged like a bull. Muna sidestepped, her movement fluid as water, and drove an elbow into his kidney. He grunted, spun, threw a haymaker. She ducked under it, stepped inside his guard, and delivered 3 rapid strikes to his solar plexus. He dropped to his knees, gasping. 15 seconds. The referee couldn't believe it. Neither could the crowd. Their silence gradually transformed into an eruption of chaos, half shock, half fury at lost bets. Young leaned forward in his chair. Who trained her? Want me to find out? Jin asked. No, Young's lips curved into something predatory. I'll find out myself. Muna won her next 3 fights in similar fashion. Each victory was brutal, efficient, and impossibly fast. By her 4th fight, the crowd had split. half betting against her out of pride, half riding her wave of destruction. The purse was growing. But it wasn't enough, not even close to $500,000. Between fights, she checked her phone obsessively. No new messages about Marcus. The silence was worse than threats. You fight like someone with nothing to lose. The voice came from above. Muna looked up to see a man descending the metal stairs from the VIP section. Young. Even in the warehouse's dim lighting, his features were striking, the angular face, the perfectly styled black hair, the expensive suit that seemed obscene in this place of blood and sweat. He was beautiful in the way sharp objects are beautiful. Dangerous. I fight to win, she said simply. Clearly, he stopped a few feet away, studying her with dark eyes that missed nothing. But winning small fights gets you small money. You need real money, don't you? Lots of it, fast. Her heart hammered. What do you want? To make you an offer. He pulled out a cigarette, didn't light it. My name is Young. I run the Cobra Syndicate. The air left her lungs. This was the man holding Marcus. I see you recognize the name. His smile was knife-thin. Your brother made some poor choices, but you're full of surprises. So here's my proposition. Fight 10 of my best men, all at once. Survive, and I'll forgive your brother's debt completely. And if I lose? You won't lose, you'll die. He said it matter-of-factly, as if discussing the weather. But I don't think you will. There's something about you, Muna. Yes, I know your name, something that doesn't add up. A college student who fights like a trained assassin. That story has holes. Do I get time to think about it? You have 10 seconds. She didn't need 10. When? 3 days. I need time to prepare my men and market this properly. This will be the biggest underground event Seoul's seen in years. The beautiful American girl versus the Cobra Syndicate's elite guard. He leaned closer. People will pay fortunes to watch you die. Or watch your men fall. Something flickered in Young's eyes, respect, maybe, or hunger. We'll see. One more thing until the fight, you're my guest. I need to ensure you don't run. Guest or prisoner? Is there a difference? Young's compound was a fortress disguised as a luxury estate in Gangnam. Muna was given a bedroom suite that cost more than her college tuition, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline. Guards were posted outside her door. That night, she stood at the window, watching the city pulse with light. Her phone buzzed. Impressive performance tonight, but you should know something. Young never makes deals he intends to keep. The fight is rigged. All 10 men are enhanced with military-grade combat drugs. You're meant to die as entertainment. Sorry. Anonymous. Her hands clenched into fists. Of course it was a trap. Everything about this screamed trap. But what choice did she have? She pulled up her shirt, revealing the intricate tattoo covering her ribs, a black mamba coiled around African symbols. It was beautiful and terrible, a reminder of what she'd been before college, before trying to be normal. Before she'd walked away from her father's legacy. General Quame, the Mamba Johnson wasn't just her father. He'd been a legend in military circles, the man who'd created the deadliest close combat training program in modern warfare. Muna had been his youngest, most gifted student. By 15, she could dismantle armed opponents with her bare hands. By 17, she'd walked away, desperate to be anything other than a weapon. But weapons don't stop being weapons just because you put them down. Day 2. Young appeared at her door the next morning with breakfast and curiosity. Why did you really come to Seoul? He asked, setting down a tray of traditional Korean food. You already know why. I know the surface. Your idiot brother gambling away money he didn't have, making promises to people who collect debts in blood. But you, he sat down across from her. You're educated, smart, beautiful. You could have called the American embassy, gone to the police, done anything except walk into a criminal warehouse and start breaking bones. The embassy doesn't negotiate with criminals. Police are too slow. Marcus doesn't have time for bureaucracy. Still doesn't explain your skills. Muna met his gaze steadily. My father was military. He taught me self-defense. Self-defense? Young laughed, but there was no humor in it. The way you fight isn't self-defense, it's assassination. Every strike aimed at critical points. Maximum damage, minimum movement. That's not something a father teaches his daughter unless... His eyes widened slightly. Unless he's training a soldier. Silence stretched between them. Who is your father? Young pressed. Dead, that's all that matters. Everything matters. He stood, frustrated. In 3 days, you'll face men designed to kill you. Enhanced reflexes, pain tolerance, strength. They'll tear you apart and this beautiful face will be unrecognizable. So I need to understand, what makes you think you can survive? Muna smiled for the first time since arriving in Seoul. It was not a pleasant smile. Because I've survived worse than your men could ever be. Something in her tone made Young's blood run cold. For just a moment, he glimpsed something ancient and terrible behind her eyes, something that didn't belong in a 20-year-old college student. He left without another word. That night, Muna's door opened, but it wasn't a guard. Jin, Young's lieutenant, entered with his hands raised. I'm Marcus's friend, he whispered urgently. The one who helped him escape the first time, but Young found out. Your brother isn't here, he's been moved to a black site. And the fight, it's not about the debt. Young knows who your father was. He's been hunting for General Johnson's daughter for 5 years. This whole thing is a trap to capture you, not kill you. He wants to break you, retrain you, make you his personal weapon. And Muna, the anonymous messages, those were from me. But someone else has been sending you messages too. Check your phone. Now. Muna's hands trembled as she pulled out her phone. A new message glowed on the screen from an unknown number she'd never seen before. Jin is lying. I am Marcus's real friend. Jin works for Young and is setting you up. Your brother is in the compound, basement level 3, east wing. You have one chance to escape tonight. The guards change shift in 8 minutes. I've unlocked the service elevator. Trust no one. Ghost. She looked up at Jin, her mind racing through possibilities like gunfire. His face was earnest, desperate even. But so was the message. You don't believe me, Jin said, reading her expression. Smart, but look. He pulled up his sleeve, revealing a burned scar shaped like a cobra. Marcus and I were soldiers together, U.S. Army stationed in Korea. When we got out, he stayed, got involved with the wrong people. I tried to help him, but Young found out. I've been playing loyal lieutenant while trying to find a way to save both of you. Then why send anonymous messages? Why not just tell me? Because Young monitors everything. He has people everywhere. The only reason I can talk now is because I drugged tonight's guard rotation. Jin glanced at his watch. We have 6 minutes before they wake up. We need to move. Another message pinged. Jin drugged the guards because he's moving you to a secondary location. Young isn't even here tonight. This is a kidnapping within a kidnapping. Basement. Level 3. MARCUS Israel. I'm watching through security cameras Jin doesn't know about. Ghost. Who is Ghost? Muna demanded, showing Jin the phone. His face paled. That's impossible. We swept for surveillance. Unless... He grabbed her phone, his fingers flying over the screen. Jesus, this message is coming from inside the compound's mainframe. Someone's hacked Young's entire security system. Marcus, Muna whispered. Marcus can barely work his email. Jin's expression shifted from confusion to horror. But there's only one person who could breach our system like this. Oh God, Muna, we need to leave right now. The lights went out. Emergency reds bathed the room in blood-colored shadows. An alarm screamed through the compound, not the standard security alert, but something deeper, more primal. A lockdown. Jin's radio crackled. All units, we have a code black. Repeat, code black. The ghost protocol is active. Facility is compromised. Kill on site authorization for any unknown. Static consumed the transmission. What's code black? Muna asked, her combat instincts flaring to life. It means someone's here. Someone Young fears more than anything. Jin drew a pistol from his jacket. The ghost isn't a person, Muna. It's a legend. A phantom operative who's been systematically dismantling criminal organizations across Asia for 3 years. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody's ever seen their face. They're called ghost because they leave no evidence, no witnesses, just bodies and empty compounds. Why would Ghost help me? I don't know. But if Ghost is here, then Young's entire organization is about to burn. The door exploded inward. Not from force, from a small, precise explosive charge that removed the lock assembly without damaging anything else. Professional, surgical. A figure stepped through the smoke. Black tactical gear, face obscured by a high-tech mask that distorted features into shadow. They moved with liquid grace, a suppressed pistol held in a relaxed but ready grip. Jin raised his weapon. Don't move. The figure's head tilted, almost curious. Then they spoke and Muna's world shattered. Hello, baby girl. That voice, deep, warm, unmistakable. Dad, Muna's whisper was barely audible over the alarms. The figure pulled off their mask, revealing a face she'd thought she'd never see again. General Quaim, the Mamba Johnson, supposedly dead for 3 years, stood before her, older, scarred, but very much alive. Surprise. Jin's gun wavered. You're Ghost. Was Ghost ever a question you should have been asking? Quaim's smile was predatory. Lower the weapon, Jin. You're outmatched, and we both know it. You died. The military confirmed it. Explosion in Yemen. The military confirmed what I wanted them to confirm. Quaim's eyes never left Muna's face. I've been operating in the shadows, taking apart organizations like Young's piece by piece. But when I heard my daughter walked into the Cobra Syndicate's territory, his expression softened slightly. I couldn't stay away. Muna felt like reality was fracturing. Marcus. Safe. I extracted him 2 days ago. He's in a U.S. military hospital in Okinawa, recovering. The photos Young showed you were real, but old, from when Marcus first got grabbed. I've been tracking your brother's movements for months, waiting for the right moment. Then why didn't you contact me? Why let me think? Because you needed to walk away from this life, Muna, from me, from what I made you. Pain flickered across Quaim's weathered face. You deserved normalcy, college, friends, a future that wasn't drenched in blood. But then Marcus had to play hero, had to get involved with Young, and... He sighed. The moment you stepped off that plane, I knew you were never going to abandon him. Because he's family. And because you're my daughter, we don't leave people behind. Quaim glanced at Jin. Put the gun away, you're coming with us. Why would I? Because Young knows you helped me hack his system. I used your security clearance codes to access the compound. To him, you're a traitor now. Stay here, you die. Jin's face went ashen. He lowered his weapon. Good choice. Quaim tapped his earpiece. Extraction team, we're moving. 3 packages, route Delta. Wait. Muna grabbed her father's arm. What about the fight? Young expects me in the ring tomorrow. You're not fighting. Yes, I am. Quaim's eyes narrowed. Muna. You taught me never to run from a challenge. Young set this whole thing up to break me, to turn me into his weapon. But you know what? I'm nobody's weapon, not yours, not his. She felt something igniting in her chest, a fury that had been building since she'd landed in Seoul. I'm going to walk into that ring, face his enhanced soldiers, and destroy them. And then I'm going to make Young understand that I'm not afraid of him. They'll kill you. The combat drugs. Won't matter. Muna's voice was cold steel. You trained me to fight enhanced opponents. Remember, the Montana facility, the experimental program where you pitted me against soldiers on performance enhancers to prove your training methodology worked. You were 17. Those were controlled environments. And I won every single time. She stepped closer. This is my fight, Dad. Mine. You've been protecting me for 3 years by staying dead. Let me protect myself now. Father and daughter stared at each other, both warriors recognizing the immovable will in the other's eyes. Finally, Quaim nodded. Then we do this right. Jin, you're going to go back to Young, tell him the ghost broke in but you fought him off, that I escaped but Muna's still locked down. Keep her in play for the fight. That's suicide for her, Jin protested. No, it's suicide for Young's men. Quaim pulled out a small medical case from his tactical vest. Muna, you remember the Berlin Protocol. She nodded slowly. The Berlin Protocol, her father's controversial combat enhancement method that didn't rely on drugs, but on neurological optimization through specific vitamin compounds, breathing techniques, and pre-fight mental conditioning. The military had deemed it too effective and classified it. "You're going to spend the next 24 hours preparing. I'll guide you through it." He handed her the case. "And when you step into that ring, you won't just beat those men. You'll make a statement that will echo through every criminal organization in Asia." Fight day present. Which brought them back to the moment where we began. Muna standing over 10 unconscious men, Young staring in disbelief, the warehouse erupting in chaos. But what the crowd didn't see was what happened next. Young stood from his chair, slowly, deliberately. The shock on his face transformed into something else, something darker. He began to clap, the sound cutting through the noise like a blade. "Magnificent," he called out, his voice amplified through the warehouse speakers. "Absolutely magnificent. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I knew she would win." The crowd fell silent, confused. Muna's blood ran cold. "This entire fight was never about killing you, Muna Johnson. Yes, Johnson, daughter of the legendary ghost." Young descended the stairs, his every movement calculated. "It was about proving to my clients that I had access to the most valuable commodity in the criminal world. You." He gestured to the shadows. Lights flared, revealing cages she hadn't noticed before, cages containing people. Prisoners. And in the center cage, impossible as it seemed. Marcus. But Marcus was supposed to be safe. Her father said. "Looking for Daddy?" Young's smile was vicious. "Your father is good, but my network is better. We've been tracking Ghost for months. The moment he extracted someone matching your brother's description, we grabbed the real Marcus from the military hospital and left a decoy. A very convincing decoy that even Ghost believed was your brother." Muna's legs nearly gave out. "No." "Yes, and here's the beautiful part. Ghost is listening to this conversation right now through your subcutaneous tracker." Young pulled out a small device showing a blinking dot. "Hello, General. I know you can hear me. You have 30 minutes to surrender yourself to my compound, or I start removing pieces of your son. And after I'm done with him, I'll start on your daughter." Young turned back to Muna. "As for you, my dear warrior princess, you're not leaving this warehouse. You see those VIP boxes? 20 of the world's most powerful crime lords are watching this feed. You just became the most sought-after asset in the underground. The bidding for your services starts at $50 million. Guards poured from every entrance, dozens of them, heavily armed, surrounding the ring. Muna's mind raced. Her father had 30 minutes. Marcus was alive but captive. She was surrounded. The Berlin Protocol had pushed her body to its limits. She had maybe one more fight left in her before complete collapse. "You look worried," Young observed. "Don't be. I'm a businessman. Cooperate and your brother lives, your father surrenders, and we might even let you train under humane conditions before we sell you. Resist and..." He shrugged. "Well, you're valuable dead or alive. Alive just pays better." Muna's hand slowly moved to her neck, pressing against a pressure point her father had taught her, an emergency signal. 3 short presses, too long. "Compromised, need extraction, code Phoenix." Phoenix Protocol, the absolute last resort, the one her father had made her memorize but pray she'd never use. It meant burn everything. "I'll cooperate," she said quietly, lowering her hands. "Just don't hurt Marcus." "Smart girl," Young's smile widened. "Guards secure her." The compound's power grid exploded. Not just the warehouse, every electrical system in a 3-block radius simultaneously overloaded. The darkness was absolute, primal, but Muna had trained for this. She'd fought in sensory deprivation chambers. The dark was her ally. Gunfire erupted, screams, chaos. Muna moved. Her father had taught her to memorize spatial layouts instantly. She knew where every guard had been standing. In the darkness, she was death incarnate, disarming, disabling, dismantling threats with brutal efficiency. The Berlin Protocol sang through her veins, turning her into something beyond human, if only for these precious minutes. Emergency lights flickered on. Bodies littered the floor. Muna stood at Marcus's cage, lock already picked, her brother stumbling into her arms. Muna, Marcus's voice was weak. How did you? Later, can you walk? Barely. Gunfire erupted from Young's position. Muna shoved Marcus behind cover, grabbed a fallen guard's weapon, returned fire. But Young was already gone, disappeared into the compound's shadows like smoke. Extraction Point Alpha, 2 MINUTES. Her father's voice boomed through a hijacked speaker system. MUNA, move. She hauled Marcus up, half carrying him toward the warehouse's north exit. Behind them, more guards poured in. Ahead, an armored SUV crashed through the loading bay doors, her father at the wheel. They were going to make it. They were actually going to. The explosion knocked her off her feet. Muna woke to fluorescent lights and the steady beep of medical equipment. Pain radiated through her left side. She tried to sit up, gasped. Easy, her father's hand pressed her shoulder. You took shrapnel from a grenade. Surgery removed most of it, but you need to rest. Marcus. Safe, actually safe this time. U.S. military custody in Guam. Young. Quame's expression darkened. Escaped, but his compound is destroyed, his operation crippled. He's lost everything except his life. So he'll come after us. Without question. Her father pulled up a chair. Which is why I'm officially bringing you into Ghost Protocol. No more hiding, no more pretending you're just a college student. Young saw what you can do. So did 20 crime lords. Your face is everywhere in the underground now. Dad. You're my partner now, Muna. Whether you wanted this life or not, it chose you. We hunt people like Young. We dismantle their empires. We protect people who can't protect themselves. He squeezed her hand. I won't force you, but I need to know, are you in? Muna stared at the ceiling, thinking about Marcus nearly dying, about the people in those cages, about Young's smile as he tried to sell her like property. I'm in. Good, because I decoded a message Young sent before he escaped. Quame pulled out his tablet, showing her an encrypted file. He's not running. He's consolidating power, calling in favors, building something bigger. And according to this, he's got a partner, someone with resources that dwarf his entire operation. Who? The file just says the architect. No other details. But there's a location, Tokyo, 3 weeks from now. A meeting of the 5 dragons, the most powerful criminal syndicate in Asia. Young will be there, and so will the architect. Muna's eyes hardened. Then so will we. 3 weeks gives you time to heal, to train properly. When we hit Tokyo, we won't just be taking down Young. We'll be declaring war on the entire underground. Quames smiled grimly. Last chance to walk away, baby girl. I stopped walking away when I landed in Seoul. Muna struggled to sit up, ignoring the pain. Young wanted to make me a weapon? Fine. Let's show him what happens when weapons choose their own targets. Father and daughter locked eyes. 2 warriors, forged by violence, choosing to wield it for something greater. Outside the window, Seoul's skyline glittered with possibility and danger. Somewhere in those towers, Young was planning his revenge. But he'd made one critical mistake. He'd turned Muna Johnson from a woman, trying to escape her past into a hunter, embracing her future. And ghosts, as he was about to learn, don't just haunt. They hunt. Cliffhanger ending. 3 weeks later, Tokyo, the exclusive Dragon's Den nightclub. Muna, dressed in an elegant black dress that concealed her weapons, moved through the crowd of criminals and power brokers. Her father's voice whispered in her earpiece. The architect just entered the VIP section. 3rd floor, northwest corner. But Muna, you need to see this. She turned her hidden camera toward the figure ascending the stairs. The woman who entered the VIP section wasn't just powerful, she was familiar. Impossibly familiar. Muna's blood turned to ice. Because the architect, the mysterious partner Young had been building his empire with, the one who'd orchestrated everything, was her mother. The mother who'd supposedly died, giving birth to Marcus 20 years ago. The mother whose funeral Muna had attended. Dr. Sarah Chen Johnson smiled at Young from across the VIP section, raised a champagne glass, and in that moment, Muna realized. Everything, her father's death, Marcus's kidnapping, the fight, even Ghost Protocol itself, had all been pieces of a game she didn't understand. A game her mother had been playing all along. Her father's voice crackled in her ear, raw with shock. "Sarah, but that means... Oh God, Muna, abort now, it's a trap. It's all been a..." The transmission died. Muna looked up to find her mother staring directly at the camera, directly at her, smiling. And mouthing two words. "Hello, daughter."